yesterday we started with basic background question about whether it is possible to lead a life of stable peace in middle of life challenges, and your answer was yes. And then you elaborated about what is required for that, conditions required for that. How does one deal with these? Because people say, watch these hurt thoughts, watch these thoughts, negative thoughts. You watch them, they don't go away, they keep on biting. So what is the way out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you said rightly, that this is one of the biggest issues of human race.
Yes.
And I feel the more and more we are getting educated, more and more we are getting stuffed with knowledge, into quotes, information. This hurt is getting increased. So sometimes I think that older days, maybe 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 30 years ago, was that this much prominent? Go back to our earlier generations. Where they also used to get hurt in the same with same enormity? I feel that they were not. They were not. So what has exactly changed during this last 30, 40, 50 years? Like, in one way we say that we are educated, we are more knowledgeable than our earlier generation. So we have got more knowledge, we have got more information. So knowledge is something which should give you freedom. Knowledge is that which should give you freedom. But now we have got such a kind of a knowledge which has actually bound us more and more. So isn't it a fundamental thing one has to look at? So what has exactly changed? More information, more knowledge, and more anxiety, and more feeling of hurt, and more feeling of negative feelings.
Right.
So what has exactly happened? First thing is this, that one has to look at it in a very, very wide spectrum, isn't it? Now, how to get rid of that? Like, how to get undisturbed by the words of especially the near and dear ones.
Right.
In my view, in my experience, I feel that every such a kind of a situation, every question has got two ways. In a different way, two ways, in two different ways one can look at it. The first one, in an ordinary state, is basically a cosmetic answer for this. It's a cosmetic answer for this. Like, cosmetic answer is, I would say that for a commoner, start spending more and more time with yourself alone. Like, find some time, if you are rich enough to spend time with yourself. I'm saying you are rich enough. If you can afford to spend time with yourself, start spending some time with yourself once in a month, maybe for 7 days, maybe a day in a week, maybe 7 days in a month, maybe 7 days in a 3 months, maybe 7 days in a 6 months. How much rich you are, it all depends on that. So start spending time with yourself, so that the thoughts, the biting words basically, thereby wherever you said that the words of our near and dear ones, and it happens, I understand, I have experienced that. The age above 40 plus, 45 plus, this is a common issue, because we start becoming complacent with each other. We take granted to our near and dear ones, and they take us granted.
Yes.
And what happens is that a kind of a complacency builds up in our relationship. So in that case, I feel that we should start spending time separately for ourselves, number one. What will happen by that? Thereby you will get a space for yourself, a space for yourself. You will be away from such vibes, and not only that, you will be happy, even they also will be happy. So both of will be happy, both of you will be happy. Say a husband and a wife. Spend time with yourself, thereby you will be away from such vibes, both of you will be happy, and then you will have time to think about your life. You will have time to think about your life. Like what do I want in my life?
So when you say spend time away, it's not going away and getting busy with activities. You are saying go away and chill.
Yes.
Reflect.
Yes.
Reflect. Don't get active in something,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So that is even superficial way, even that is a even cosmetic way most of the human beings they adopt.
Right.
Like they go out somewhere, like they'll go out somewhere on a beach side, and then like again there'll be a different kind of sansara over there, isn't it? So I'm saying to take out time for yourself and chill and for contemplation about your life. Right. What is that exactly is missing?
Right.
Which are those words which are getting hurt? Who is that within me who is getting hurt? During my seeking days, I used to observe such things, like okay, someone comes up with some words and then I would get hurt, and then I would say, or I would think within and say ki, what is that point within me which is getting hurt? What is that point within me which is getting hurt? I used to think about this. So if you can do that what is that within me which is getting hurt? So thereby you will find some time for yourself away from those vibes, the negative vibes, and then you think about yourself, about your life. So that is one way. But I feel that is a cosmetic way. But at least that is essential.
That is the beginning.
It's a beginning. I'll say the same thing many people have done in the past. Let's say for example Mahavir. Okay. Now Mahavir left home, or Buddha left home, right? They left home for some purpose, that is different, but they left home. There is very interesting thing Rabindranath Tagore has said in his story. I don't know whether it has happened or not, like that or not, but through a story Rabindranath Tagore has said something, that when Buddha comes back, when he realizes after 6 or 12 years, whatever, he was away from the home, he left his home, his son, his family, his wife, and then when he returns, his wife Yashodhara asked him one question. What was that question? The question was that what you got, or that what was revealed to you by going away from home, was it not possible for you to get it staying in the family?
Right.
So Buddha kept quiet. So that was the answer.
Right. Yeah.
That was the answer. But parallelly one has to think that of course it is possible wherever you are, because it is the closest place. That undisturbed, unchangeable peace is so much closer to us, but in order to access that, one has to go out and come back. So in that way, Buddha also left, Mahavira also left home for some time. I am not saying you just renounce your samsara or renounce your world, but silently go away, spend time with yourself. Maybe some peaceful place, other peaceful place than wherever you are staying. And I feel there are so many who can afford to do that.
Yes.
Go to some peaceful place. So, in order to arrive at the peace within, the exterior peaceful place will be helpful. Because how do you access that inner peace sitting in the chaos wherever we are staying? So, the external peaceful place will be conducive atmosphere, climate for you to reflect whatever is happening with you. So, the cosmetic answer would be start doing that. Earlier the better. Go out for a trekking, go out for a jogging, go out and stay somewhere. There are many I know that they have got 2 houses, 3 houses, 4 houses. What are those houses made for? There are farmhouses. What have you built those places for? For whom? For your children? No. Go to a different place. Spend time with yourself. In a way, I am saying that stop for a while. A pause is necessary. A small pause is necessary in a hectic life. Because wherever we are staying in a what you call it as a rat race. I explain it in a way that 100 rats are running. If you ask a 100th one, who are you running behind? He says 99th. Ask 78th rat, who are you chasing? He says 77th. You ask 55th rat, where are you going? I said 54. You ask 23rd rat, who are you chasing? Where are you going? He said, where the 22nd rat is going. Like that you go on, ask a 4th rat, where are you going? He said, where the 3rd is going. The interesting thing is, you ask the first rat, where are you going? And he says, I am following the 100th one. So, rat race, the meaning is they are not running linearly, we are not aware of it. We feel that we are going somewhere. We aren't going anywhere. We are running in a circle. The moment we realize this, but in order to realize this, one has to stop. If you are the 54th rat, you stop for a moment and take a step backward, what I call it as a retreat. Stop. If you stop there, the other rats who are running in a circle will go and hit you. So, in order to save yourself from them hitting you, a step backward, that is retreat, and then let the 99 rats run. You don't go waste your time in telling them that you are in a rat race. First, you understand that you are in a rat race. The moment you understand, you realize this, that yes, I am in a rat race, then you will find good enough time, a quality time for yourself and reflect on your life. Earlier the better, that is necessary.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
There are many ways we can access to this question, how to remain unaffected. I have seen in our history or mythology, whatever you call it, all of us or most of us have gone through or are aware of something that is called as Mahabharata. Most of us, or some of them can go and find out what Mahabharata was, and especially I am talking about the essence of Mahabharata as I see, that Krishna delivered some message to Arjuna. Arjuna represented all of us. So, some message was delivered by Krishna to Arjuna, and thereby they said that Arjuna found peace within.
In the middle of war.
In the middle of war. So this was a very interesting situation. I always contemplate on, like, what has happened exactly in the middle of the war. What has happened? What conspired between these two? When I started contemplating about this situation, I found that there were these two men standing in the middle of the war field. So both of them were on the war field, isn't it? Yes, but still there was some difference between these two, isn't it? The one, Arjuna, who represented humanity, all of us. And in a way, I said that there was nothing, it was nothing spiritual actually which happened. Arjuna was not spiritual at all. In my view, Arjuna wasn't spiritual at all. He was just more, he represented the masses, all of us. Yeah. So his questions were, he was a sure shot case of anxiety. Arjuna was not spiritual. His case was anxiety. Now understand is that Arjuna, when Krishna said, you have to fight a war, Arjuna realizes at the war front, he knew that at one point the war will start and he was ready for that because he was a warrior. But when he went on the war field, he realizes that how can I kill my gurus? How can I kill my uncles? How can I kill my brothers and nephews? So understand the enormity of an anxiety. Now if you compare the anxiety of Arjuna and the anxiety of the rest of the world, that my wife says something to me and my son says something to me or my husband says something to me or my dad says something to me, you compare them, you will find that they are of not even a 5 paisa or a 1 cent. The anxiety of the problem, the issue of Arjuna, if you compare at one point, and the issue of the most of us, it's not even 1 cent, it's 1/1,000,000th of a cent. Understand? Both of them were there. Arjuna was not ready to fight, and there was another Krishna, the man the God who walked on earth as man, if I can say, the God who walked on earth as man. So that Krishna, so both of were on the war front. So both of them were in war, they existed on the war field, but there was a difference. What was the difference? I realized one thing: Arjuna was not ready to fight, and this Krishna was telling him, he was provoking him. In fact, he was doing everything so that the Arjuna will start fighting.
Right.
Okay? Now, what was the difference? There has to be some difference. When I contemplated, I saw a very, very deeper insight that Arjuna fought the war. Arjuna fought the war and Krishna played it. Why? Arjuna fought the war, FOUGST, and Krishna played it, PLAYD. That was the difference. But why? Because Arjuna was involved and Krishna was participating in the war. Both of them were standing next to each other. Now my question is, if Krishna can play war, understand, if Krishna can play 6 font to play the word and 6,000 font for the war, so you'll get the enormity what I am saying. If Krishna can play war, why can't you play samsara? Why can't you play life? Another point. As I said earlier, the enormity of the anxiety and the issues of Arjuna enormosity, compare it with the quantum of anxiety of the commoners, all of us, the whole world. Not comparable. 1 cent and $1 million. So my question is, if Arjuna's anxiety of $1 million level, quantum, could get solved, resolved, this 1 cent of anxiety, why would it not get solved? Isn't it simple?
Right.
Isn't it rational? Isn't it logical? So instead of going into the spiritual, the depth of the Bhagavad Gita and all that, first one has to realize that this is what is the message for all of us. That Arjuna represents to all of us. He was as much identified as this body and mind as much as all of us. So in my view, the root cause of human suffering is the identification with body and mind. Root cause. Arjuna was identified as body and mind, so Krishna has to explain him and give him the spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of the self. And then he realized the thing. So the deeper understanding of ourselves, or the deeper knowledge, or deeper wisdom, I would say, about our core is essential. So that is one of the major impact, if you can think over, that if it can happen with Arjuna, it can happen with you. But why did it happen with Arjuna? Why it happened with Arjuna? One has to think about it. Why did Arjuna find that peace, Sthita Pragya, a person who is unattached, undisturbed by any situation in life? Why did he arrive at that?
Unattached, at the same time fully participating.
Yes.
Yes.
Fully participating.
Right.
Fully participating. As I said yesterday, the tides are in intense love with the shore. The tides are in intense love with the shore. Means participating in the life, external life, material life. The tides are in intense love with the shore, but at the same time attached with the core. This way we can, if you can look, it is possible. Right. How and what can be discussed later.
Okay. So, I see that both the core issues, for at least those who are well off, fortunate to be well off, one is anxiety, stress, anxiety related to, basis is fear about the future, children, health, profession, whatever it may be. Second one is hurt due to behavior or words of near dear ones, or negative feelings that arise from such behavior of near and dear ones. All of them are part, the root is the same. The root is that here in the middle of life, we are fighting a war, a minor war compared to Arjuna, but we are fighting a war.
Yes.
As a result, we will suffer.
Yes.
But for that, to play the war, what is essential is to realize that you are not just this body and mind that you think you are, and whatever it is that you are is much deeper, always there. You need to connect with that.
Yes.
As you learn to connect with that, all these problems will drop off by themselves.
Yes.
Because that is the root. Once the root is uprooted, the problems will drop off.
Absolutely.
How to go about it will take up later. But this is basically the summary of the three questions we discussed so far. Right?
One more thing I would like to say
Right.
here, that I was saying that why did it happen with Arjuna and why is it not happening with many others? When I contemplated on this important question. I found it very important. There are millions and millions who study the spiritual scriptures, whichever they could be. The one I was referring was Bhagavad Gita.
Right.
Right? There are millions now in world.
Yes.
Because now this case was 5,000 year old,
Right.
said to be.
Right.
So in 5,000 years, maybe 500 million or whatever enormous amount of people have studied Bhagavad Gita. They have studied the message, trying to study it academically. But why is it that not many have come to the stage that Arjuna arrived? Isn't it? I found some of the insights in this contemplation is that Arjuna faced a dead wall kind of a situation. What do you call it? Facing a dead wall.
Right. So basically, his back was against the wall. There was no place to go.
Yes.
He had no other choice.
No other choice.
Right.
So number one,
Yeah.
someone who arrives at that place,
Right.
essentially.
Right.
Majority are sitting comfortable on their sofas,
Yeah.
and studying Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna did not study Bhagavad Gita by sitting on the sofa. His back was
Against the wall.
against the wall.
Yeah.
So he has come, he was cornered, the situation was cornered, he was in a cornering situation.
Right.
Majority, none of them are cornered, they are sitting on their sofas comfortably in their comfort zone.
Yes.
Arjuna left the comfort zone. See, leaving the comfort zone is so important that when both the militaries were standing in front of each other, Arjuna took Krishna to the middle of the battlefield. That itself is an indication that he left the comfort zone by staying within the army.
Yes.
Isn't it? So he left comfort zone and he went and stood there. Point number 2. Leaving comfort zone. And third and most important, he had trust on someone. He had trust on someone. Now these three are the essential things. Do we have somebody like that? Do we see? Do we need? Do we feel that our quest is such that we can leave the comfort zone? If the quest is real, you will find somebody to guide you.
Or as you said yesterday, as you are forced into it, or by whatever means,
Yes.
you are ready to leave your comfort zone, or as you said yesterday, level of consciousness that you have settled into.
Settle into, because you have reached your level of consciousness and the issue is heightened. It's heightened in such a
Your
way.
back is against the wall.
Yes.
You are going to move. You become, once that intensity comes in, you
Yes.
become so sensitive
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you'll start looking around. A human teacher may come,
Yes.
or a falling leaf may tell you,
Yes.
right?
Or situation.
Or situation might tell you.
situation.
But the point is, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Right.
Are you ready? Because the quantum of, the quotient of quest, if I can say,
Yeah.
how much is your quotient of your
If
quest?
you just want to do it as a part-time job,
Or as a time pass, if it is your right, if it is your real question, you will find the answer.
Yeah.
But if it is a question that why I get disturbed by the words of the near and dear ones, if the question is like us children ask why the crow is black and why the parrot, and by the moment you answer the question, he will ask why the parrot is green, and then next why this and why this. So he is not interested in getting the answer. He himself is amazed, or he himself is in love with his questioning ability. So is it the right question you are asking? You have to ask that to yourself. So is it your real question? you will get the answer to all those questions which are real within you, which has boiled down to 100 degrees. Isn't it? The question has to come to 100 degree, because as a simple science says that when water gets boiled at 100 degree, you don't have to teach water to convert into a vapor.
Yeah.
It's natural.
Yeah, yeah. So just like, again, using your yesterday's analogy, you
Yeah.
said ice, water,
Yes.
and steam.
Yes.
Now, taking that analogy further, using your words right now,
Yeah.
we say, okay, now water naturally has come to a state where it is boiling,
Yes.
100 degrees.
Yes.
Then it naturally becomes all pervasive steam.
Yes.
That is the answer.
That is the answer. But that ice cube again, that all of us are sitting. We are just sitting in one refrigerator, one house, one home for 20, 30, 40 years. And we are asking the questions. What we do intermittently, we change the house, that is, we change the refrigerator, the temperature is more or less same, the brand will be different. So we are changing the comfort zone. It is the comfort zone only.
Yeah.
But to come out of the comfort zone will come automatically to the person whose quotient of quest has boiled down to 100 degree.
Right.
Automatically. Through the circumstances of life,
Yes.
through the situations that life has gifted you.
Yeah.
I am saying gifted you.
Yes, absolutely.
Gifted you.
Yes.
Because those are there are many gifts life offers to us, existence offers to us. We do not understand that they are gifts. We try to run away from them, and then again you will have to appear for the exam. If you fail the 10th standard, you have to reappear for the 10th standard. So taking the challenge, and then with that challenge, basically the courage will come. That's what I am trying to say.
Okay, thanks.